We're now joined by Samir Nichols, founder and executive director of an organization called Superior Arts Institute and a 2022 Raspberry Making a Difference Award honoree. Good to see you again, Samir.
Thanks, Steve. Good to see you too. It's just been a fun ride since the ceremony.
The ceremony back in May of 2022. What made that event, which I've been honored to host and moderate for well over 2 decades, what made it so special for you to be recognized for making a difference around a lot of other folks who are making a difference?
I think one of the things that made it so honorable to be a part of it was that I was able to share what we do here in Camden and be able to advocate for artists, right? And so especially artists of color who've been working long. And so being able to see that people like myself and others throughout the state making a difference was able to be recognized for the long overdue work that we've been doing. And so just being able to accept that award was an honor. So that was my highlight.
Yeah, and a lot of people were motivated, inspired by the video of talking about you and the organization. But for those who do not know Superior Arts Institute, and we'll put up the website, describe as succinctly as possible what you do and the impact you're making.
Absolutely. So I started Superior Arts when I was 14 years old in my mother's driveway here in Camden. Our goal was to, I went to Camden City Creative Arts High School and I studied dance, ballet, modern, jazz, lyrical. I was a dance major. So I got the chance to have dance in my schedule for 4 hours of the day. And what I realized was there was a lack of programming in the city. So I had to go to Philadelphia. I had to go to, New York. I went to Texas for a summer, just to be able to perform. And being privileged enough to have, a mom and a dad in a household where I was able to actually grow and understand that work, they supported my journey and I was afforded a different opportunity. But I knew that most people did not have that. So we grew Superior Arts out of a need to really spark that voice and serve as the foundational builder to the Camden City Creative Arts High School, specifically in the areas of dance and theater. Since then, the work has grown to a robust arts community here, where we now serve the film industry. We recently were able to tap into the environmental sector, where our programming, advocacy through acting, touch on environmental racism and civic issues, where we are currently filming a show called Town Hall Resolution 50, which airs in
Too fast. Say the name again.
Town Hall Resolution 50.
What's the goal of that?
The goal of that is to explore advocacy through acting, where we get to highlight environmental racism, specifically here in Camden, however, in the state of New Jersey and throughout in Black and Brown communities across the nation.
Samir, why do you connect? And I remember when I met you and I listened to you, that it struck me the connection between the arts and social justice is very real and powerful and poignant for you. Why?
So living in Camden, you're able to see the work up close and personal. You're able to feel it and you're able to see what people are going through. And a few years ago, civic engagement was a big part of my life. I ran for city committee here under former Mayor Moran, and I was able to see the city from a different lens. So being politically involved sparked a different conversation for me, and understanding what that looked like in New Jersey, I was able to see what environmental injustice looked like from a different lens. And when I realized there was something I could do about it by being connected to local educators, local elected officials, I was able to say our content was based off of real life issues that we would be able to advocate to New Jersey elected officials and be able to really spark change. So that's how the connection became.
Your passion for the arts kicked in when you were pretty young.
Absolutely.
What do you think it was, and what is it, that passion? What's it all about?
I think I was exposed to theater at a very early age. I had an uncle who practically ran the Suzanne Roberts Theater Company in Philadelphia. So growing up, being able to go into the theater and see productions, he was a house manager on the original Wiz. And so being connected to the Philadelphia circuit for all of my, career from age 7 up until, going to the theater was a part of our recreational activity in my household. So we saw what that was like. Our uncle was largely a part of it. And so when I came to Camden, I met a lady named Desi Shelton Seck, who runs runs Camden Repertory Theater. And I saw that Camden artists were doing it. And so being from Camden, I didn't realize, working in Philly and not seeing so many opportunities. In high school, going to art school, Desi exposed me to some of what was happening here. And I just merged and blended the two works that I saw on the national level and wanted to give that back here.
Samir, you talk about giving back. I'm curious about something. Going all the way back to how young you were as young as you are now, as young as you were when you got connected to, turned on by, into the arts. What's it like for you to see young boys and girls, men and women, disproportionately Black and brown, connect to the arts at a very young age and discover a side of themselves that they may not even knew existed? I know I'm probably overcomplicating it, but
no, I think I understand what you're saying. For me, for a long time, I wasn't paid to do this work in the arts, and so
you were not. You were doing it as a volunteer.
I was not compensated up until this year. We were actually running our first payroll, and so what happened was I was able to better put myself in a position to fundraise for the organization. But now I think what I walked away with is wanting my students to understand that they can be compensated. So we put a system in place where we give all of our high schoolers stipends for being actors and for being on our production crew. So understanding that art is a labor industry and that it is a workforce that they can enter upon. That was my walk away. That was my heroism. And so that is why I do what I do. And so that was my takeaway. I wasn't compensated, so I needed to ensure that the next generation would be stronger than I was.
Speaking of compensation, the Russ BERRIE Award is a monetary award. Question: what has been the impact of the Russ BERRIE Award to you and to the organization?
Oh, wow. So folks told me you should go on vacation. Folks told me what I should do with the money. And I was like, hey, I wasn't paid all this time. So some people's like, look at it as back pay. Look at it as this. I'm like, no. What'll happen is when needed, the money is in a secure space right now. So when needed, the money will be filtered back into the artist community, whether that looks like donations. And we just re-administered a re-grant fund for artists here in Camden under Superior Art. So we were able to give away COVID relief aside from the Russ BERRIE money, but the Russ BERRIE money is tucked away for the rainy day as it was given and awarded. So it'll be there for when we need it in the organization. And some guilty pleasures will happen, but it'll be tucked away for the philanthropic opportunities that I know will need to be in the sector. So to help other agencies. So I'm here. I'm a voice, and if anyone needs me, they know where to find me. I'm right here in Camden.
This is Samir Nichols, founder and executive director of Superior Arts Institute, 2022 Russ BERRIE Making a Difference Award honoree, making a difference every day. Thank you, Samir. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, New Jersey Sharing Network, Investors Bank, Rowan University, Atlantic Health System, Johnson & Johnson, the Fidelco Group, New Brunswick Development Corporation, and by Summit Health. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer and by New Jersey Monthly.
Hi, I'm Abby. You might see me as an ordinary person, but I've been living with a brain injury since 2018. Opportunity Project gave me hope, and I've gained confidence through job skill training and helping my family. Despite my challenges with memory, I see a possibility to keep improving.
If you have a brain injury, you don't have to face your road to recovery alone. Learn more about Opportunity Project and its partnership with Children's Specialized Hospital.